Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Previously, we started working on the Hirata estate from the Young Lord's Bell Charm, worked our way to the main estate hall, which is a good place to kind of save off in that area because there are some pretty tough fights ahead that would benefit from having a higher attack power than we have because we're still at the lowest. And we ended up getting a few new prosthetic tools, which is really nice, met some people, so on and so forth. So we will be returning to that location, but for now we are going to go back to the outskirts wall here and start working our way up the staircase towards the Ogar. And there's actually a couple of boss fights here back to back. So let's jump in and get to this. If you recall previously, there was a eavesdrop here that related to the fight, and that's why I said it's a good place to turn back.
縛るだけでは不安じゃのう。戦の前に我らが襲われてはしょうもないわ。いざとなれば火を使うしかあるまい。赤目は火を恐れる。そういうお達しじゃて。お達しねえ。変わっちまったな。芦名の戦も。
So that's your hint. The enemy ahead is afraid of fire. It's one of the first red eyes, or is the first red eyes we'll fight. So we want the flame vent to deal out some fire damage. It will cower away from it, and I think the firecrackers actually work as well. But the other thing we want is the oil. In fact, I'm going to put the... Oh, I already have that here. Sorry, I forgot I already added it on. So we're going to basically, you want to toss the oil at the enemy, and then ignite them with the flame vent, and then it's going to kind of cause a burn buildup on them, and deals out a bit of damage while you can kind of get in and get a few swings in on them. This fight is a little different because this particular boss fight, deflections just don't do anything, and we don't have much attack power, so it can be a bit tricky, but overall it's not too hard, and we can get a backstab in. So, big boy up here who is tied up is going to be our mark. Kind of pulls off a bunch of wrestling moves, essentially. He'll dive at us, he'll kick at us. The one thing that's really important to watch out is if he does dive at you, he tends to do a lot of grab attacks. And if he does, he's going to slam you on the ground and then throw you in the air over his back. And so if I was over to the left of where I am, for instance, and he smashed down on me and wheeled me over, he might just throw you right off the ledge and kill you that way. So just watch out for that. Don't try to go for too many hits at one time with him because he will hit you back pretty hard and pretty quickly. He doesn't leave a lot of room for error on that. So kind of keep your distance with him. We're going to do a backstab on him, which should make this significantly easier because we only need to drain 1 health bar because he does have 2. And we also want to use the flame vent to kind of add some damage to him, which makes this so much easier if you do that. Now there is one guy off to the left, so we are going to aggro him and take out that guy, and then we're going to run away. I don't know exactly where he is right now. We might need to kite him down to the lower area. So let's go see. So by leaving the area, it gets him to kind of reset. And oh, he's right there. Will he see me? Not very well, apparently. So if you see him head on, you'll see his eyes are red. And so supposedly the red eye is supposed to be that means somebody's lost everything, which I guess in this case would make sense. It makes them quite a bit more powerful, and like I said, it also makes them fear fire. So there's power at a cost. Oop, I messed that up. Sorry, not close enough for the back attack there. Let's reset that. And if he doesn't de-aggro, just get further away from him. Rooster's totally eyeing me up here. Okay. Let's try that again. See if I can catch him before he gets up. There we go. Okay, so get out to oil. Hit him. Again, watch out for the grab attacks. The game's already warning you. Grab attacks cannot be deflected. There's no way to avoid serious damage once grabbed. You also saw the grapple come up. You can use that to your advantage. Oh, almost got me. Ooh, almost had the grapple on him too. Third prayer bead. Wait for the music to tone down a bit. Shinobi Medicine Rank 1. A latent skill that increases the healing effect of recovery items. Medicinal knowledge is vital for a shinobi's survival. Receiving wounds in battle is inevitable. The only way to learn such technique is to gravely injured time and time again by worthy opponents. Hence this guy. Although I will say, did he even get a hit on me there? No, he didn't. So, that wasn't too bad. If you end up flying off the edge for whatever reason, there is a grapple point here. So, you know, it's not the end of the world if you get thrown off. It's just if your posture's broken, that's going to, of course, cause issues. So, I think we already cleared this area before. So, but there was an item up there next to the Spirit Boy, so let's run back up there. Balloon of Wealth, okay. Honestly, I think a Possession Balloon and a Balloon of Wealth for this upcoming area is not a bad idea, because there's quite a few enemies, and there's a boss, so let's take advantage of that. Nightjar Monocular. A bamboo tube used to see distant objects. While shinobi already have good vision, looking through this tube with one eye enables one to see even further. The Nightjar Ninja serve Ishin Ashina, guarding the rooftops of Ashina Castle. Their sharp eyes on the lookout for any would-be trespassers. Not much escapes the eye of a Nightjar. And those are the dudes, like the one that took Kurdo at the beginning of the story. So, like I said, we got a lot of enemies here, plus a boss fight. This is blocked, but we can make our way around there. And we're going to play this really dirty because the odds are stacked against us here. But let's pick up some items first. Gourd Seed. If you feel uncomfortable doing this without the health, feel free to go back to the Dilapidated Temple and use this baby. Seed from which healing waters continuously spring forth. Give to Emma to increase the maximum use of the healing gourd. And I don't think there's anything new on this, so that is our second gourd seed, which should give us a third heal. So, does he get close enough for me to... I don't know if he does. Let's try it. We're gonna do some stealth here. That did absolutely the opposite of what I wanted. Now we got the attention of a whole different person. Do I have a gotching, sugar? I do. I don't know if I have time to get to him. We'll come back to this guy. So I'm gonna go over here for a second. Actually, I might just go straight over here to begin with. So, if we look at this area, you'll see there's a samurai right above my head. So that's one of the generals. 2 posture bars. If we aggro him, you just want to get away from him, let him lose sight of you. I don't want to deal with him, and I don't recommend dealing with him until you take out everybody else here, because there's a whole lot of people here. Plus, we can get some items with that possession drop and the wealth drop. So, reminder to myself not to accidentally pick things up. Let's see. Let's go to the right. There is a alarm person over here. You'll kind of see them on occasion. This one. Basically, he's just holding like a pot and a pan. He just starts making a bunch of noise if you're around. Oops, sorry, I forgot to use the balloon. Let's do possession. We got a few guys here. So just kind of trace their path, and if you want to repop the possession, we have a few of them, so no big loss. We could take out the one that's way out there by going back to the building. He's going to patrol back and forth. Or we can just go down there and make a big ruckus and kill them all. Either way works perfectly fine. Yeah, don't do that. He might see me here. He might see me. They will investigate bodies. So he's not... He doesn't have a big path here. Okay, they'll investigate bodies, but they might not be the smartest when it comes to detecting them. Yeah, so he has to basically get on top of it before he realizes, oh, there's our other guy. They have like the worst amnesia in the world too. Watch how they just give up. And this guy is going to be aroused to our presence here in a moment. So this might be a good spam moment. I don't think he can see me here. Yeah, he's a bit too close for comfort on that one. So maybe I'll take out the samurai up there with the hat first. You can't deathblow them from a hanging point. Other guy's coming back. Complete stealth here is really not necessary, but we're Shinobi, we might as well play to our strengths. Plus, I like stealth. Alright, there's one guy that is down near the general. But I want to double check that there's nobody over here, 'cause there might be. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now that the stage is kind of set, is first, go for the general. Don't worry about his flunky here. Try not to make noise. I don't know if this is going to help that much, but... Wow, he totally didn't even know I was there. Alright, buddy, it's you and me. Oh, did I miss somebody? Oh, I totally did. Okay. I forgot about the gunner. Nope. Don't you dare. Alright, so easy enough. If you're not really used to the samurai generals, might take a little practice, but the basic generals aren't too bad. So, wealth balloon, and suck up all that loot. I think we got everything. Now there is one more thing I wanted to show before we actually move on here. So we're going to go investigate this area. If you're struggling with these people, our next location is actually over here. And if you look down, our next idol is down this way. Beware. The little geckos. So this is the Underbridge Valley. We will be coming here in a moment. So we're going to circle back. One thing I want to do while we're here, though, is you'll notice that we have 4 prayer beads, which means we've hit our first 4 of 4 here. So we want to go to Enhance Physical Attributes, Use, and we get our first prayer necklace. Loose prayer beads strung together in offering to a sculptor's idol. Increases maximum vitality and posture. A prayer bead necklace befits the strong. The ferocity of the Ashina's army is renowned throughout the nation. Its generals are especially talented, every one of them accomplished in the Ashina sword style. And so that is one of the trophies I've kind of been making notes about in the video descriptions. Because there are 40 prayer beads throughout the game that you have to get, and 10 necklaces in total to make, which will max out your vitality and posture. Many of them, of course, come from boss fights, but there's others that you can pick up along the way. Divine Confetti. This stuff is like the bomb. This is the stuff that you want, and you want to really save it early on because you don't get much until later in the game. Confetti, imbued with a divine blessing, made for driving away apparitions. The paper is made ceremoniously, whereby pulp is spread thin using water from the exalted fountainhead. And we've heard about this water quite a bit already. As the gods bless the waters, so too will confetti bless one who basks in its touch, allowing attacks to connect with apparition-type enemies. And I do believe, if my sources are correct, that it also just generally increases damage to enemies. So the reason you want to hold on to it is because you cannot fight apparition enemies without it, and there are several of them in the game. And this is actually where you're going to first run into them. Temple posting. Turn back if you value your life. You can't behead the headless. Our swords and pikes did nothing. That's your warning to not go this way. So obviously we're going to go this way. This might seem really stupid, and it kind of is, but make sure to grab the ledge as you fall. Gachin sugar. There it is. So there are two main types of apparition enemies in the game. Undead enemies. Not necessarily just apparitions. There's the headless, like this guy. And it was forewarning you, don't go here, don't go in there. When I was doing my prep run for this and taking notes, I actually fell in on accident, and I was able to take him out, but I just do not recommend it at this point. Plus, they're one of the worst things in the entire game to fight, if you ask me. They're so annoying. The other type are called Shichimen warriors, and I believe there are 5 headless, because they are the warriors that the sugars are based on, and then the Shichimens are. I don't really know much about them. I do have some notes, so when we run across them, I'll read some of the notes I have. They're so much easier, and I think there's only like 3 of them, if I'm remembering. But between the headless and the Shichimens, they drop some unique items that are worth getting, so definitely worth dealing with them. They're not prayer beads or anything like that, but they are worth seeing. So, but I would avoid that at all costs. The real reason we came down here was not for them; it was for this. And let's see, which way do we go from here? There we are. So we're kind of backtracking in a way. Got a couple of geckos here. One thing that's nice about the geckos, and I'll try to show it here, if you jump over them because their back is exposed, you can get a death blow. Also, they're rather weak to shurikens. Most of the wildlife in the game are. Okay. I gotta remember I don't have the mid-air prosthetic arts yet. Those mid-air abilities are really nice because you don't have to be on the ground when you use them. So I can't throw the shuriken when I'm jumping like that. And this is the locked door that we just ran across when we went to take on the general. Divine Grass, and we've already bought some of this from the Pot Noble and Antidote Powder, so there we go. And so that goes back to where we fought the Chained Ogre. And this is where we fought the Samurai General. Oh, hey, there's an item there. I totally missed that. Scrap iron, okay. Yeah. Nice upgrade items, so always worth getting. So I think that's all I had over in this area, so we're going to go to the Underbridge Valley. I do believe Japan is known for its earthquakes. But that didn't quite sound like an earthquake. Yeah, it's definitely not an earthquake. Ooh. 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 Okay, so right on top of me here. Oh, don't encircle me. Oh. No, 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 no. It's okay. I mean you no harm. Oh, he's so big. So it's a well-known. Well, I think it's well known that Eastern cultures often worship dragons, view dragons as gods, and there are two other creatures that kind of fall in that realm. This is one of them. It's referred to as the Serpent gods, and there's also something called a Nino that kind of fits this description as well in a way, because dragons in some traditional stories were more water, kind of waterborne creatures in a way, or water-based creatures. And so if you know what a Nino is, it's kind of like a mer thing. It's like a fish with a person's face sort of thing. Now this is going to sound really stupid, but we want to go in that thing. And just a little bit of background on this. So it's a palanquin, I think they're pronounced. And it's basically supposed to be like a large box that you use to carry people around. But in this case, this one's not for being carried. It's meant to offer yourself in marriage to the serpent gods. Which sort of means that he's going to want to eat me. which is not encouraging, right? It's not making you want to go inside of it. So, you know, it is what it is, though. So once he turns his head, this also probably seems really stupid. Run, 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 run. Oh my god, that is close. This is the part where, in real life, I would totally die, because I would go back out here and it would still be there. And, wow, I'm a little bloody from that. Yeah, so when they say offer yourself in marriage, kind of means you're going to become a snack, I think. This marriage isn't going to last for long. Oh boy, okay. Oh, no. Don't jump off the edge. Jumping off means death. Akko's sugar. Okay, so we did pick something up back there. So I am going to read that. Not before we do this. Oh, saw me. Herb Catalog Scrap. A page torn from the Ashina Herb Catalog. A compendium of flowers and herbs. The snapseed naturally grows in ravines and deep valleys. According to denizens of the Sunken Valley, such places are appropriate for offering oneself in marriage to the great Serpent. As I was just saying. And that marriage is going to be short-lived, man. You're becoming a snack there, so if we didn't stab him. If one wishes to become a bride, they must enter the belly of the serpent in the valley. Yeah, it's a nice way of saying, let it eat you. Gotchi sugar. And let's claim this. And before I forget it, this is what we picked up in the valley. So, really nice item for a couple of reasons in the story, but snapseed. Fume-wort seeds that make a loud noise if you snap them. So basically just making a loud crack sound, essentially. Useful for breaking the effect of illusion techniques, which, you'd imagine would be associated with Shinobi. If an illusion occurs, it is because someone created it. To crush the phantoms and return to reality, one must defeat the creator of the illusion. Snapseeds can be of great help in that regard. So if anybody casts an illusion spell on you where it's not really a person or an apparition in the sense of a spirit or something, this is what you want to use. And there's a couple points in the story where these are really useful. And they're pretty rare, so I'd say hold on to them. Now, we have a good amount of skill points here. Well, first of all, we have a lot of money too. I really don't want to lose that. So let's take some time to look through these. Okay, so if this is your first time playing the game, going towards Emma's medicine potency will increase your heals with the healing gourd. Not a bad move. Since this is not my first time playing this, I want to work on these upper trees, particularly the Shinobi arts one, but also the prosthetic arts, because I really want to get mid-air prosthetic tool, which is nice, and that's going to have access to some other nice skills. And I want to get Shinobi's karma body, because these skills are all pretty nice. So I'm going to start with this. And so Shinobi's karma body, that's going to give us more spirit emblems, which I think the total you can get up to is like 20 or something like that before a refill. Okay, so this is a really good one. This is the one I think I'm going to save for, because this is really nice to have. The spirit emblems are great. I would personally say hold off on those. You can always get more spirit. The more you rely on spirit emblems, the harder you're going to make the fight on yourself in the end. I understand the want to do that, but I want to get the Breath of Life light, because as it says, recovers vitality upon performing a successful death blow, which means anytime you death blow an enemy, you get health back. Mid-air deflection will lead us to mid-air combat arts, and so I think this is going to be my next investment, but I want that first. Mid-air combat arts I don't quite need until later. And I think that's it. I think I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to save it there. I'm going to save those 2 skill points. So, we are at the castle gate here. And what do I want as far as... Let's go with the shuriken for this part. And let me see on my notes here. Okay, so Castle Gates. There should be a remnant around here too. Okay. Alright, so there are quite a few enemies here. So we want to be a little bit careful with this. It's also a potential good farming moment here. Don't worry, man. You'll be joining her soon. How many possession balloons do I have left? Just the one. Yeah, what the heck. And let's wipe the floor with these guys. The spirit emblems are like, I'm coming with you, whether you want me or not! As they fly across the screen in my direction. Okay, I really want to take out big guy. So the big guy is a member of the Taro troop, and you'll notice he's holding his head. I think they have issues with headaches or something on that order. They also have memory issues. Now, there is an eavesdrop here, but it's a little tricky to get. You saw nothing. You saw nothing. I don't know if he's gonna still do the dialogue anymore after that. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes. We need to remember to have Emma fill our gourd for us. Just remember, you give Emma the seed, and then she fills your gourd.
Miro, 大手門にのろしが上がっておる。Gyoubu様か。ああ、まさに鬼Gyoubu。あのお方がおれば、アシナもまだまだ安泰よ。
Ooh, missed. I think you're the last one. Heavy coin purse. Oh, I don't think we've read the heavy coin purse, have we? See, they're telling you to scoop up all that loot. Heavy. We did bulging. A purse filled with a large amount of sen. It can be used to acquire the sen inside. Its weight is very promising indeed. The sen is, in this purse is not lost upon death. Yeah, and we have a lot of money, so... Unfortunately, I think I have purchased all I can from the merchants. As far as, like, what I want. I think we got everything. Oh, don't forget that. Nope. Wrong way. What about other guy here? There we go. Yeah, remember oh god, there's a lot of bodies. The wealth balloon triggers after the drops even, so it triggers in real time. Okay. You think it's the reverse, that Emma fills your gourd and then you give her the seed? What are you guys talking about? So we got another remnant. Remember, the first remnant was kind of Kudo seeing the impact that this was having on the Ashina's people.
ひとたびは退けたが、ナイフの軍はあまりに強大だ。
それゆえ我が血を流因の力を利用するというのですか。いかに力を得るとて、痛みも恐れも忘れ、戦い続けるなど、私は人の生き方を歪めたくはないのです。
この屍の山を見ろ。もはや尋常のすべてはアシナは守れぬのだ。
私は健一郎殿ほど強くはなれません。何をなすべきか未だわからぬのです。
あれから随分と経つ。待ったとて無駄なことだ。
Genichiro is an interesting character. I agree with him. He does have a lot of strength. Look at this. But he's very smart. He's being very manipulative here. He's showing Kudo, whether it's through Emma showing him or him himself, what's happening here and why he needs him. And we just got a first nod to what was going on in those times. He just said the Interior Ministry. That's referring to Japan's centralized government in feudal times. And the reality of that is that it's actually a minister, because this would go back to like the shogunate periods. And this is based on a real shogunate, I do believe. So, he's being manipulative. They can't take on the entire army of the shogunate. And they want to maintain their land. This is, they claim this land. So there's such a deep story that goes on here. And so that's what Genichiro has really been after. He wants his power, Kudo's power. And Kudo does not see this as a gift. He sees it as a curse. And you can see that. He doesn't look at this like it's something good. And he's seeing the outcome of all this, of what it's doing. Okay, I really hate walking into a big fight like this with as much money as I have. But like I said, I'm actually banking a little too much right now. So what we're about to go into is our first big boss fight. So the actual true boss fights of the game. And we're going up against Gyoubu, who is the guard at the castle gate. So I'll talk a little bit more about him afterwards. But he's going to come in on a horse. He is a spear bearer. And so I usually don't do well with spear bearers. But honestly, he's not too bad once you get used to him. And what we want to use here is the Shinobi Firecracker, because he's on a horse, and the Firecracker is good against wildlife, essentially. It's good against everybody, but wildlife in particular. So that's one thing we're going to want to use. Another item you might try if this is a struggle is the Akko Sugar, because it will increase your attack power a little bit. And I don't think it's really necessary, but that's because I know his deflection attacks. And that's how you're going to take him down. Rely on the deflection abilities you have. Get used to his attacks, his timing. And so when he comes out, 2 death bars here, there's not much of a change between the fights. What he's going to do is he's going to, be using a spear. So be ready to deflect them. And to me, the spears are kind of tricky to get down. But do your best at getting used to those attacks. If he moves away from you, he will a lot of times eventually spin around and start... Either he'll try to run you down, or he'll kind of do this whip move where the spear head actually detaches and he swings it outward at you. In that time, you should be able to grapple towards him. So use that to your advantage. The other thing is, like I said, we have the firecrackers for the horse. The firecrackers will upset the horse, so use that to your advantage as well. It's very easy to knock him off his post for a bit with that. And so we're just trying to... It's not a terribly difficult fight by any means, but I guess I don't really need the Akko Sugar, but if you want to use it, this is a good time to use it. In fact, I'm gonna go without it, but you'll increase your attack power a good bit. So if you want to use it, go ahead and use it. But let's jump in and see how this goes. We can tell this is a boss arena, right? I mean, we didn't need to discuss that.
Oniwa Gyoubu Masataka nari. Otemo, kono Gyoubu ga tousan.
I missed it. See how much posture that builds up? Okay, one down.
鬼の首まだ落ちておらぬぞ
Oh! He regained himself there. Oh man. Memory. Gyoubu Oniwa. The battle memory of an extraordinary foe lingering in the mind of the wolf. Commune with the sculptor's idol and confront memories of battle to permanently increase attack power. Gyoubu Masataka Oniwa was keeper of the Ashina Castle Gate. Mechanical barrel. A mechanical metal barrel that can be given to the sculptor to enable prosthetic tool upgrades. It appears to have been made to fit perfectly inside the wrist bone of the Shinobi prosthetic. A reinforced core is sure to make a Shinobi's fangs even sharper. Prosthetic tool upgrades. By giving the mechanical barrel to the sculptor, upgraded prosthetic tools can be created. You can quickly return to the sculptor via the travel option in the sculptor's idol, or by using the homeward idol quick item, which I'm not going to bother with. Reflection of Strength, and this is actually added, I don't remember how long after, but this is added after the game had been released. Reflection of Strength, you have defeated an extraordinary foe who can now be faced once again in memory. Reflection of Strength can be accessed via the Sculptor's Idol menu. That is really nice, and I kind of wish I would have had that when I first started playing this, because you can go back and reface the big boss battles that way. Enhancing attack power. So this is our first big boss. So the enhanced attack power option has been unlocked in the Sculptor's Idol menu. You can now consume battle memories to increase your attack power, causing you to deal more vitality and posture damage with your attacks. And this will make finishing the Hirata estate much, much easier. Yeah, so we talked about Reflection of Strength, and that is down here if you ever need to do this. So Reflection of Strength, reflect upon a previously defeated extraordinary foe to fight them once more within Wolf's memories. During reflection, Wolf's attack power is not tied to his strength in the real world, and any quick item menus and spirit emblems used in these battles are reverted to their original states upon returning to reality, which is really nice if you want to test things out. And go to Enhance Attack Power, activate the memory. Remnant Gyoubu. The battle memory of an extraordinary foe, although distant, recollection of such a memory provided sustenance for the wolf. Gyoubu Oniwa once led a group of infamous bandits, but was defeated by Ishin, who was so captivated by his show of strength that he took him in as an Ashina warrior. Oniwa would later go on to become Genichiro Ashina's most trusted retainer. Okay. So we have a level 2 attack power, and like I said, that's going to help a lot with Hirata. Also, I went up like 2 full skill points almost there, which is really nice. So, good way to do this. I am going to do a rest here. Now, we are at the castle gates. However, we're going to turn back and go this way. I don't think there's any items on the battlefield besides the Fistful of Ash, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to do a quick check. So I don't think there are any. You can see the bodies that he's kind of laid to waste out here. I definitely have some commentary on Gyoubu, because I think he's an interesting character, and they've already dropped quite a bit about him right there. So definitely a close relationship between him and Lord Genichiro, as you know, you could surmise by him saying for apologizing at the end, and he was a retainer. So now this guy should look familiar. If you recall, at Hirata Estate, there was a man up on the tower when we went to the 3-story pagoda and got the Mist Raven feathers that was dressed almost exactly like this, or very similar to this, I don't remember. So I'm not going to quite say who he is or what he is, I guess, but keep in mind that uniform. So if you go up here, we have a new merchant, a new, what are they called? Can't think of their name now. Memorial mob. Yeah, here's another guy with the purple robes. And we're gonna go in here. And another.
ネズミがもう一匹。いや、その目。飢えた狼か。切る前に名を聞いてやる。名乗りわしに名乗る名などないか。忍びは大概そうじゃ。名乗らず死におる。じゃが、その左腕、忍び技師とは懐かしい。なるほど。石腕の狼か。気に入ったぞ。ならば、赤炉。お主をそう呼ぼう。お前は何だ。わしはアシナの天狗よ。おう赤炉。お主もネズミ狩りをせぬか。何だと。このアシナにはネズミが入り込んでおる。うじゃうじゃと我が物顔でな。ネズミもいろいろじゃが、それを片端から切り捨てるのよ。どうやらお主にも人斬りの才がある。その才を磨くのに役立とう。どうじゃ赤炉。ネズミ狩りをせぬか。
Absolutely.
承知した。よし、赤炉よ。ならばこれをくれてやる。
Rat description. A description of the rats that have snuck into Ashina. Speak to the Tengu again once the rats are dealt with. The rats, assassins from Senpo Temple. Short stature, wear bamboo hats. A number of rats are lurking about, last seen around Ashina Castle Gate.
これはネズミの顔、それと巣穴じゃ。切ってまいれ。さすればお主の戦に役立つものをやろう。
And so we just had a title drop there if you were paying attention. He just referred to us as Sekiro, the one-armed wolf. Oh, I missed an item. Huh. That's what I get for not being thorough.
へえ、あんたが生き残ったのかい。鬼の行部様もやっと屍になれたかね。けれど何も変わりやしないよ。戦は続き、屍は積まれ、怨嗟ばかりが満ち満ちる。あんた考えたことがあるかい。そういう怨嗟がどこに積もっていくのかを。ないだろう。ないだろうね。だからこそあんたもあやつも哀れなことだよ。
Some major foreshadowing there. Before we go and kill us some rats, we're gonna head up. Let coin purse. There we are. Okay. This way. Prayer bead. There we go. So just for climbing up here. That should be 5 of 40, I think. Okay. So the Senpo rats he was talking about are the little short dudes with the big hats, and they come from the Senpo Temple, which we will not be getting to until quite a bit later. But we can always kill some rats in the meantime for him. And if you head this way, you'll be heading towards the castle. But the rats are over this way.
Ishino やはり重いようじゃ。たとえ源一郎がおれど、アシナの国長くはなさそうだの。してもう一つの任は、城の蛇谷の側が黒笠で騒がしいようじゃ。ならば次はそちらよ。だが最新にな、黒笠の無事な生中にはやれぬぞ。
I did some research recently, and I never knew that Black Hat Badger actually had an extended side quest. And so I want to make sure to kind of show that, because I'm really interested in seeing that through. I don't know how I've missed that every time I played this, but also they work for Senpo Temple, which are supposed to have connections to the Ashina, but clearly the Tengu is not a fan of them. It's a lot of experience for a few little dudes. Okay, and that should be it. Those are the only ones. We killed one of their people down by the where were we? Down in the Serpent Valley area when we got up to the gate. And than those three. So yeah, now that we have a title drop, I usually just refer to Sekiro by that name. I've been saying Wolf just in case people haven't seen this and, probably wondering what the heck that means. There we go.
Oh! ネズミを飼ったようじゃな。
おう。
やはりお主には人斬りの才がある。よし、褒美じゃ。取っておけ。
Ashina Esoteric Text. A compendium of the Ashina sword style allows one to learn Ashina style skills. The text reads like a history of Ishin Ashina's battles. When young, Ishin fought desperately time and time again, polishing his technique in the blood of his enemies. He consolidated his learnings under the Ashina style, named for the sake of his clan's dominance.
これは
芦名流じゃ。流派というても堅苦しい決まり事などない。ただ戦に勝つ。その一時を至上とする剣よ。ネズミ狩りに何よりお主の戦に役立てるがいい。芦名流。流派というても堅苦しい決まり事などない。ただ戦に勝つ。その一時を至上とする剣よ。ネズミ狩りに何よりお主の戦に役立てるがいい。
He's one of my favorite characters in the game. I love his voice. Okay, so we're going to head back to the Dilapidated Temple to close things out. But we have a merchant here, so let's talk to him.
ご供養いかがかね。こんなところにも死者があるところ、また供養衆あり。ゆえに戦場こそ我らの庭よ。さあご供養していきなされ。
Okay. Gourd seed. Very nice. Dragon's blood droplet might not be bad to get, and we have plenty of coin purses here. So, gourd seed first. That's our fourth, I believe. And do I want the droplet? I probably don't really need it, but they are limited, so I'll get one coin purse, and I'm going to make note that there are 2 light and 2 heavy left.
死者があるところ、また供養衆あり。どこへ行こうとご供養を欠かさぬようにの。
Okay. So from there, we're just going to head back to the idol and back to the Dilapidated Temple just to use those gourd seeds mostly. There's one thing that I thought might be worth taking a quick look at. If you go to the idol, I think you gotta go to travel, and I think a lot of people just miss out on this, but if you see on the bottom right, it says open the antique map, and it kind of shows you the places you've been to and can travel to some extent. I think this is kind of cool. I mean, it's some nice little artwork here, and I know I've looked at this at some point in the past, but I don't know that I've ever used it for anything. So it's kind of cool though. So let's head back to Dilapidated Temple. Alright, so we're gonna give Emma our seed.
狼殿、よく参られました。
I think we got 2, right? Yeah, okay.
ではまた。
I don't think we should have anything to talk to her about at this stage.
お前さん、面白いものを手に入れたな。それは、からくり筒。忍び義手の真となる仕掛けよ。どれ、仕込んでやろう。
この仕掛けで何ができる？
真となるこの仕掛けがあれば、筒薬と組み合わせ、お前さんの忍び義手の牙をさらに研ぎ澄ますことができる。
筒薬とは何だ？
からくり筒と共に使う鉄のくず、あるいは炎症といったものじゃな。使えそうな筒薬を見つけたら持ってくるといい。
Very nice. I think we're good on prosthetics. Oh, no, I didn't do the Mist Raven yet. Sorry. Forgot that was the last one I picked up. So if we go to the upgrade prosthetic tool, we now have access to a whole slew of things here. And yes, unfortunately, you do actually have to unlock everything for trophies, which is going to probably require, I think, at least 2 playthroughs. So, prosthetic tool upgrades. In the prosthetic tool upgrade menu, upgrade materials and sen can be spent to create upgraded versions of the prosthetic tools. And you do actually have to equip them to change over and everything, because otherwise you'll still default to whatever you have on. And because some of the modifications are quite different, where you might not necessarily want all of them at all times, so there's a reason that they're accessible still after the upgrades. To upgrade, one must own the base tool and also complete any prerequisite upgrades. And there are some items that you have to get out in the world to do some of these. So it's not just the upgrade materials. There are actually some like unique items that you need to get. Older versions of a tool can still be used after upgrading. Yes, yes. So, we don't really have enough materials to do the shuriken, it looks like. Could do the firecracker. So, generally speaking, you know, I'll kind of hold off on talking too much about this until we get through all of them, but Flame Vent is one that I like to push into to get its upgraded version up to here at least. I think this final one is for apparitions. I don't actually know its uses. We should play with that at some point. But this is the one we're going to go for at least. And the shuriken will also do as well. That's definitely a worthwhile one. So there is one more upgrade tool we have access to, which is the kunai. But like I said, we need a bit of money for that. So if I think about it and I have enough, I'll go and get it at some point. Probably wait till we at least need Oniyama again, and then I'll just use the coin purses for that, to be honest. So we have enough for this, but just, you know, I just banked my money, so we can't really get that yet. But I'll probably put some points in that because we need to get access to the rest of the tree anyway.
からくり筒が仕込まれていれば、筒薬と組み合わせ、お前さんの忍び義手の牙をさらに研ぎ澄ますことができる。使えそうな筒薬を見つけたら持ってくるといい。
Okay, I think we're good. I don't think I even really need to rest, but it works. Alright, so that was the end of the Ashina Outskirts area. And they did drop a good bit of information at the end there, so I do feel comfortable talking about this stuff, even though it's kind of a... some of it's not spelled out for us, some of it is. So we finally got to face off against Gyoubu, and we got to see the outskirts, and because we've heard about Gyoubu so much, and we got to see kind of the state the Ashina are in. And so Gyoubu was the retainer to Genichiro, and he was the guard of the castle gate. And their people seem fairly common, that Gyoubu and Genichiro were going to be quite the forces to reckon with for outside foes. And now we know who's coming for them, because we got that information on us dropped a little bit about the Interior Ministry. But we don't know much up on that yet. So Gyoubu, as I said, was once an infamous bandit chief who was defeated by Ishin. And Ishin was so impressed by Gyoubu and his strength that he convinced him to come over and fight for the Ashina, and then awarded him the spear of General Tamura, who was the guy that he was fighting at the very beginning. So that spear he was using probably looked a little bit familiar. Now, as we were traveling through the outskirts, I think it's really interesting, and some people, Vati is one of the main ones I use for sources, but he had pointed out how if you look around, you can see how beaten and broken the Ashina are, and how they're starting to like really resort to like crude ways of fighting. One of them that he had pointed out was how the Taro troops are all over the place, and the Taro troops are clearly suffering some type of anguish with their head. I don't know if it's a headache or what, but I know there's some hints here and there throughout the story that they also have memory loss issues, so I don't know what's quite wrong with them. But those are those big guys that we've been running across. And of course, we've seen the bodies. You can see that Genichiro was trying to manipulate Kuro, all that stuff that's been going on. And so one thing that's kind of interesting here at this stage is they're afraid of the Interior Ministry. And Genichiro is trying to do everything he can to fight back, but he knows that he can't win because their army is just too big. You know, they may have the skill, but they don't have the numbers here to fight back. And Sekiro here, now we know why the game's called that, because we finally have that name dropped on us. We've been systematically tearing through their people, and we just took down Gyoubu, who was the last kind of true defense against the castle gate. And so they're not doing too well. The Ashina are not faring well in this war. And the only one who was really left there was the one who didn't come after us, the Tengu. And to me, he's a mysterious character, but he's a cool character. So that's kind of where we stand on the main story so far. So we can see that Genichiro is trying to manipulate Kuro into coming over to his side on this. But Kuro's staying head fast. You know, he really believes in us, I think, in Wolf. Sekiro, as I'm going to probably call him most of the time now. So, he really believes in us. But you can also see that it's kind of getting to him. He does see the negative side of what's going on out here, and the help that he could potentially bring forward, and also the corruption that he's unintentionally putting into the world. Anyway, if you are following along for the trophy completion, we have at least one additional trophy. We have the first big boss trophy, which is called Gyoubu Masataka Oniwa, and the requirement is just defeating Gyoubu. So we have that. We have collected a few more prayer beads. We had our first prayer necklace towards the Posture Vitality trophy, and we just got access to another skill tree. We got access to the upgrade menu, and so some of those things are going to pop in later for trophies, so it's important that you work on those throughout the game. And honestly, I'd say, I might give some recommendations on what to use here and there, but feel free to, if you're using this for a walkthrough, feel free to go ham and try some other things. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. I'm just making suggestions based on my experiences. And that is a good place to end this episode. So now that we have completed the Ashina Outskirts, we are going to turn our attention back to Hirata Estate, because Hirata Estate, like I said, the final boss fight is can be quite a bear if you don't have a little bit more attack power than what we started with. I think I could probably pull it off, but I think the bit of attack power additional really makes a big difference in that fight. And so next time, that's what we are going to do. With that being said, let us close things out for this one. I will be continuing tonight, so if you're here live, stick around. Otherwise, thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.